I mean, people who truly live alone because they can put their music in their headphones to the max. Well, that's like something you can do. Maybe you shouldn't though, because speaking from my old ass, it's not fun to lay down at night and just hear ringing. It gets really annoying. And if I had just set my volume a little bit lower and enjoyed music a little quieter, I wouldn't have that. Dude, tinnitus sucks. There's actually a really good video on it, but tinnitus is like really popular right now. Like it's a trend. Like people's hearing is like getting worse. Is our hearing getting worse? How old are your ears? Hearing test? Yeah. Are headphones destroying our hearing? This is the one I was talking about.
I wear
Dramatically.
headphones all the time. Recently, I've been wondering if all that listening is bad for me. And this led to a full-on spiral where I learned the horrifying statistic that over 1 billion young adults are at risk of permanent avoidable hearing loss.
I already have it, dude. I already have it, and it's literally from listening to music too loud in my car. God, it's so bad. Because it's not terrible. I mean, right now at least, but it only gets worse. You can never heal your hearing loss. You can only just not make it worse. It's just my right ear. It has an actual ring, but my left ear, it just has this drone. They both have this droning that I can always hear. And it's so annoying. It makes it really hard to sleep. I have to play something like music when I'm going to sleep because I can't ignore it.
In a time where we're giving our ears less of a break than ever before, how can we make sure that we're not losing our hearing long term?
And what tools are at our disposal to ensure that we can minimize that damage?
Bluetooth device has successfully
Headphones are not necessarily bad. Like, you know, if you wear headphones, you're not automatically going to develop hearing loss.
That's Amy Sarrow.
I'm a doctor of audiology, so I often go by Dr. Amy.
Dr. Amy explained to me just how fragile our hearing is. It all has to do with these tiny hair cells in our ears.
Yeah.
So when your hair cells
Those
are
little
healthy,
guys.
they stand up kind of like a field of wheat. And when the sound comes through, it looks like a tornado has come through and they're all twisted up. If you're lucky, they're able to sort of build themselves back straight up nice and tall. But if you do that often enough, or if the sound is loud enough, the damage is permanent.
Permanent in the sense that those hairs are bent out of shape forever. And your hearing doesn't come back. Not naturally, nor do we have treatments that can reverse the effects of it.
They look like the wacky, waveable, inflatable tube man if you listen to music too loud for too long. That's exactly what they look like.
By both duration and loudness, which is measured in decibels, and it works on a logarithmic scale. Which means if you're listening to something at 85 decibels and then you raise the volume to 88 decibels, you've actually doubled the loudness, even though it's such a small shift. And this is where things can quickly get dangerous, because we're often listening louder than we realize.
A lot of times it was 110 decibels or it was over 100 decibels. And it's easy to do because you turn the volume up when you like a song and you don't realize how loud that is.
Especially if you're trying to
I'm not gonna lie, if he's turning music up on this is not, I do not like Vampire Weekend. Call me a hater, but I do not like Vampire Weekend.
Especially if you're trying to overpower the sound of a train or the buzz of a coffee shop or your neighbors mowing their lawn. So for context, the US Department of Labor recommends no more than 8 hours of 85 decibel exposure to be considered a safe working environment. If you dig into your settings on your phone, you can limit your volume to a certain decibel threshold, but if doing so prevents you from hearing clearly, well, maybe you can lower the volume of the world around you. The sound you're hearing is coming from this device, which is meant to record what you'd actually hear if you were in this space and if you were using these headphones.
Now, if I'm honest, I always thought that noise cancellation was kind of a marketing tactic, you know, like a neat feature that was pretty cool, but not 100% necessary.
I absolutely disagree with that. Active noise canceling has been game changer, dude. I cannot go on an airplane. I can't go on long car rides if I don't have noise canceling. That is game changer. Noise canceling headphones are awesome. I spent so much money on a pair of them because they were just so worth it. The AirPod Pros were my first introduction to it, and that was awesome. Over ear is where it's at though. Active noise canceling is so goated.
Talk to experts, the more I realize that it's actually a protective line of defense in noisy environments. There are two types of noise cancellation. Passive noise cancellation, which is when something is physically blocking the sound from coming in, and
active noise canceling. I'm going to nerd out here for a bit. Active noise canceling, whereas it has microphones on the outside of the headphone and it takes the audio signal wavelength that it's hearing and it flips it upside down. It inverts it and then it shoots that into your ear, and then your ear, the waves cancel out, so you can't hear anything.
This is when the headphones have mics that can listen to the sound of the environment. For simplicity's sake, let's visualize this as a singular wave.
Yep. Yeah, and they
The
turn it upside
headphones
down.
hear that wave, analyze it, and then generate a sound wave that's the exact inverse of it. An anti-wave, if you will. When you put the two together, you get silence.
Am I smart or am I smart? No, I did not watch this movie. I did not watch this video before streaming it.
Or close to it anyways. Our environment is much more complicated than one wave. There's tons.
Some people, I didn't know this. I just am built different, I guess, but I didn't know this. A lot of people, whenever they put on active noise canceling, it makes them feel like there's pressure on their ears, like they're going down in a swimming pool, or like they're in an airplane, or like changing elevation. And I've never experienced that. So some people actually can't use active noise cancellation. So sucks for them, I guess.
Happening all at the same time. Noise-canceling headphones are best at removing persistent low-frequency hums. Anything in the 1000 Hz range or below. Think airplane turbines, trains, engine noise. But that doesn't mean no sound gets in.
What's not going to work well with that are higher frequency sounds. So these would be like birds chirping or a sudden loud sound. It doesn't have a chance to analyze and, decide what to do with that. So usually the sound is just going to come through.
Creating silence in an otherwise noisy environment feels like magic, but it also leads to some weird questions, like, does noise cancellation have volume?
In other words, if we're pumping an anti-sound wave to create silence, are our brains interpreting it as silence while our ear hair cells are still getting wrecked in a quiet tornado?
If it's working properly, it will not produce a sound. My name is Luke Keller, and I'm a professor of physics and astronomy at Ithaca College. You can think about it farther up the stream at the eardrum as bouncing back and forth in response to sound waves, but if they're canceled, it's not moving. There's no vibration to transmit to the inner ear. So it is literally making the sound go away. There's no negative effect. The cancellation happens completely in the electronics, not in your head.
So noise canceling actually does remove the sound, leaving our ear hair cells largely unaffected.
And that's true of just about any pair of headphones that have noise canceling. So don't feel obligated to get the most expensive, best ones. Any halfway decent pair will work well enough to protect your ear.
But it is important to note that noise canceling headphones don't work on everything. Like if you go to a concert or need to operate a jackhammer, there are way better ways to protect your ears.
My friend, God, he was so dumb. I only had one pair of ear protection. He forgot to bring his. And you're like, dude, like that's the one thing you bring to a gun range is ear protection. And we didn't have any extra. And I had AirPods. And he's like, can I use those? Like, dude, what? That's not going to work. He's like, it's got active noise canceling. It will work. And he put them in. We fired a few rounds and he's like, nope, never mind. It does not work. He just had to go resort to the old finger in your ear holes. Old reliable. They do not work with guns.
Conscious effort to protect them.
We think about
But the important thing is that we should be making a conscious effort to protect them.
We think about putting on sunscreen, and we can see when we have a sunburn that noise damage is invisible. So it's up to us to be thinking about it, to be mindful of it, and to save our ears.
Yeah. Ear protection definitely isn't very well promoted, especially among young people are listening to loud music so much. I say that as if I'm not one of them. It's crazy whenever you can hear someone's music from their headphones. Like you were listening to that way too loud. I don't know how, like, 'cause it hurts, dude. It's at some point it hurts. Like I don't like listening to music that loud. It hurts me. I want you guys to be able to hear me when I yap. You're 40%? Yeah, volume check. What's mine at? Mine's at 100. Mine's like halfway on my headphones. Go up to someone, volume check. That'd be funny.